Welcome to this episode of Boat Dealer Profits Podcast. I'm your host, Matt Selhorst, the creator of the Splash System, and I'm committed to helping you sell more boats, make more money, and have more fun. And today, we've done a lot of talking so far about making more money, selling more boats. We've had some great guests on the podcast, and today I wanted to address the have more fun. I had a conversation with a splash dealer the other day. We were sitting down having dinner, discussing a project that we're working on to continue their growth and really build out the splash system in their dealership. And as we were talking, it was about a 4-hour dinner that we had, and as we were talking, the conversation went to my book. He said, "Matt, I've been reading your book, and I have to tell you, it really inspired me, which first of all blew me away. I'm super proud of the book, and it's something that I put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into the book." And not only just writing the book, but the years and years of trial and error and tweaking and adjusting and implementing with dealers across the country and up in Canada. And it's just been a labor of love because it's something I'm so passionate about. And it all came together in the book and in the Splash System, and the podcast and everything I do is kind of intertwined, if you will. But he said, "Matt, it inspired me. It inspired me to have more fun in my dealership." He said, "We've been working so hard. We've been growing so much. And, I wish I could take credit for all their growth. They've been great about implementing and getting things from the Splash System implemented, taking some of the templates, taking the strategies, the concepts. And yet the husband and wife that own the dealership together, they have done the work. I've provided a framework. I've provided some coaching and some guidance. They're in a 20 group, which has been very helpful for them as well. And the thing that he said to me was, it's inspired me to have more fun in the dealership. He said, I got into the business because of my love for boating. He grew up and he did competitive water skiing and just has that passion that all of us have. Whether it started with your grandfather or your father who got into the business, whether it was your passion and you've been around boats your whole life, like I have since the age of 5. And he said, "You know what? I've lost the passion." He said, "You know what? We did demo events and in-water boat shows, and I was out on the water a ton last year." But he said, "I never once took my wife out," and they've got a grandson. I believe it's a grandson, and kids, and he said, "I never took the family out. I never took the family out on the water all last summer." He said, "I've got millions of dollars of inventory sitting in front of my dealership, and I didn't once take the family out, not even for a cruise, not even to go to dinner, not even after an event to just to hang out, decompress, relax." And he said, your book inspired me to do more of that. And the things that we're working on together, the things in the Splash System, are all things that are meant to systematize so that, he told me, he said, with everything we're doing in the heart of the season, and they're a smaller dealership, they've got a couple salespeople and a few guys in service, their parts and their receptionist, and him and his wife. And I think they have some part-time help and things like that. But he said, I get pulled in so many directions. If somebody doesn't have the answer, it's, "Hey, Matt, can you help me with this? Hey, Matt, what do we do about that? How do we handle this? A load of boats come in." He's like, "I got $500,000 of boats coming in on a truck. I just can't send anybody to go do that. I don't have that person that I can go send and not have to be there to make sure that something doesn't get damaged or somebody get hurt." And he said, "I have this conversation with a lot of the dealers in my group and dealers that are larger than me." He said, dealers that have, if you looked at them, you saw their showroom, you saw their dealership, and you saw, they've got trucks and they've got, yard crew and they've got multiple locations. And by all appearances, they've got it dialed in. They've got it, man. He said, they're the people that I look up to. And yet, when we're sitting around the table, after dinner or just chatting, he said, it's that fun that I think so many dealerships are missing. And I'm glad you addressed that in your book. I'm glad you put that part in there because yes, we do want to make money. And I am a capitalist unabashedly. I'm about making money. And I'm about doing it in an ethical and in integrity by delivering a ton of value, a great experience, because here's what I know to be true from my own personal experience to the countless clients that I put on the water when I was selling boats, and the countless dealers that I work with that are doing the same thing with my splash system, is that when we get a client into their first boat, into their next boat, into their dream boat, into their drop-down boat, into their change of lifestyle boat, we are having a significant impact on the fun of that family, the memories of that family, the relationship of that family. I think about my family growing up when I was a teenager. It was, hey, let's go out. When I was, my birthday is June 16th. So June 16th on my birthday, that weekend or even that day in the middle of the week, the family went to the lake. That's what I wanted to do up until I was high school into college. It was something that even in college, there was a lake that was about 20 minutes from where my brother and I, we lived together. We're just a couple years apart. There was a lake that I worked at the marina in the summertime, and my parents would bring the boat down. We would invite our friends. My sister, who is the youngest in the family, was still in high school, and we would bring our friends out. My parents would bring the boat, and I would want to, in college, go meet my family at Branched Oak Lake in our boat with my friends and my little sister. You know, that's the type of thing, that's the fun that, to me, that sometimes gets missed in the industry. You get so caught up and so busy and just the busyness of it all. I mean, hey, I understand. I'm a business owner. I've owned businesses in other industries. I see the world from a business person's perspective because I've been there and I am one currently. And I understand that everything falls on you unless you're a larger organization and you have layers and layers of management and general managers and sales managers and service managers. But ultimately, if something needs to get done, it's you that has payroll to meet. It's you that has your line of credit, that has the rent or your lease payment or your mortgage payment. It's you that has the liability insurance. It's you that's responsible for the livelihood of, 5 families, 10 families, 50 families, depending on how big your dealership is. It's you that has all that responsibility on you. And ultimately, if there's trash in the parking lot, you stop and pick it up. If there's a customer that needs to be taken care of that walks in at 5:30 at night as you're locking the doors behind you and you're ready to go meet your family for dinner, it's you that stays, because sometimes your employees don't have that same commitment and dedication. Hopefully they do. And there's things that you can do to pull that out of them and to get them committed and bought into the kind of more of the ownership mentality. But here's the thing. It's that fun that sometimes you have to say, you know what? I need to take a step back. I need to get out on the water with my family. I need to go play a round of golf if that's your thing. I need to get away from the dealership and go do something with my family. Go to Disney World or go to the mountains or travel to Europe or whatever it is that you're go to the races or to the horse track or whatever your thing is. It doesn't matter. But what's that thing? It could be boating. It could be getting out of the water. That's a place that you still love to go. Hopefully that hasn't been, I want to say beat out of you, but hopefully that passion and that love hasn't been taken away because you're so in the nitty gritty of it every day. And one of the areas that can help you do that is when you have systems in place. When you have systems in place for your sales and marketing, and you know that there's a flow of leads coming in, and you know that they're getting a good, solid marketing and sales experience, not because you've got the greatest salesperson, because that person can quit, can get hit by a bus, can get ill, can find another opportunity. I cringe when I talk to dealers and they say, "Hey, we're all set. We've got great salespeople, and we don't need that because we are a sales organization. We rely on our sales team's effort." And I get nervous because if something happens to that one person that you've been relying on for a majority of your production, God forbid if something happens to them with their health, if something happens to them in their family, or if they just get a different opportunity, if something else comes along, and we never want to admit that that's possible. We never want to think, oh, well, Bob, something could happen to Bob. You're like, oh, Bob's my guy. He's the one that brings it in. But when you have those systems in place, and yes, you may feel a loss if that person, does find another opportunity, but you're able to fill somebody else in that doesn't have to be a superstar right out of the gate, because those systems and those tools that have been put in place with the Splash system or whatever your system is, are gonna help them. You're gonna get the most out of them with their skills, and then you're going to continuously improve their skills to get them up to that superstar level if they don't come in there already. But when you have that, it allows you the confidence that you don't have to say, oh shoot, I can't step away from the dealership and I can't go have that fun because I'm nervous. I'm nervous that, hey, I've got to meet payroll. I'm nervous that I've got to chunk that money away for the off season because we just don't have the revenue streams coming in the off seasons. But when you have a system in place that's going to give you a more predictable cash flow, more predictable results, more predictable profits, like I talk about in the book, it allows you to kind of take a deep breath, have a little bit of fun. And then also the other cool thing, and this is what I'm working on with that particular dealer that was, told me the book inspired him, which how awesome of feeling. It was a very proud moment for me. I was just, like I said, blown away when he said that. But here's the other thing. The fun in the business isn't just you going out and have fun away from your dealership. How about you make the dealership more fun in the first place? How about you make your 8, 10, 12, 14 hours a day that you put in the busy season, how about you make that more fun? How about you put systems in place that make things more fun while you're there? Some fun marketing, some fun sales pieces. Now, I'm not talking unprofessional. I'm not talking about doing things that are gonna tarnish your image or your reputation. I'm talking about doing things that are fun, because boating is fun. I don't care what style of boat you sell. I don't care what your market looks like. People are involved in the boating lifestyle because it's fun, because it's a release, because it's a relaxing hobby, or a stress-relieving hobby. Maybe sometimes not relaxing, depending on what you're doing on the water. If you're into serious water sports or serious hardcore fishing or whatever it is. But it's that release from their everyday grind, because guess what? A lot of your clients are business owners, successful executives, doctors, attorneys, lawyers, hardworking blue-collar folks that, their daily grind, they don't get to be around boats all day like we do, and they really have a daily grind. I mean, they really are into it, and they need that release to the water to enjoy. And one of the ways you can make your dealership more fun is to make it more fun for them. And when you do that, when you orchestrate a sales process that makes it more fun, when you orchestrate a delivery process that makes it more fun for the client, when you orchestrate a communication strategy that makes it more fun for your clients, guess what automatically happens? Yeah. It's more fun for you too. It's everybody in your dealership seems to have more fun because you're doing some fun things. You're doing some interesting things. It's not just the, oh crap, we got to put on an event. Oh man, what a pain in the butt. We got to work a little bit later. We got to get here a little bit earlier, but you're doing it in a way that makes it more fun for your clients, for your prospects, and also for yourself as the dealership owner, for your employees and your staff. And I don't know. It's something that was, when I was coming up with the title for the book and working with all the dealers that I had, it's something that struck me as it naturally needed to be in there and have more fun. Sell more boats, make more money, and have more fun. If you've been following me for a while, you've heard that over and over and over and over and over. Because I think it really is that more fun on the end is a key aspect. So I wanted to talk about it, and this is this podcast, like I say in the intro, we're committed to helping you sell more boats, make more money, and have more fun. And I don't think you can forget about that have more fun part. And here's the other thing is when you put that have more fun in your dealership, and you do it the right way, not just goofy, silly fun, but just fun, and tie that into the overall way that you do business, it will help you. It's circular. It'll help you sell more boats. It'll help you make more money because people are starving for fun. I challenge you, depending on where your marketplace is, go to go to a business section. If you're somewhere near the downtown area, go walk around the downtown. If there's a business park that's within driving distance from you, go at lunch hour and go hang out at a local restaurant, and just look at the drudgery. Look at the just, I got to do this again. Look on your people, or the people's faces, and know that some of those people are your prospective clients and your actual boat owners, and they're just. Man, they're just craving fun. They're craving something in their life to be more enjoyable, because work is a stress. The responsibility, they're successful people. It doesn't matter even if you're offering value boats, even if you're just offering used and brokerage, that, on the lower end, they have disposable income. They are in definitions, in the grand scheme of things, successful, which means they have more responsibility. They likely have more stress. They're likely, not always, but likely families. So you've got the stress of work. You've got the drudgery of the 9 to 5 or whatever their schedule looks like. If they're entrepreneurs, business owners, executives, you add another level of stress and aggravation and all that. If your families, I've got 2 amazing girls, but right now, in the time that we're going through, my youngest is 3.5, will be 4 in January. And just a nightmare. And it's bedtime, mornings, the routines. It just doesn't matter what we do. It's just stressful. And my wife and I get them to bed, and at 8:30, we're just like, oh my gosh, what are we going to do? And there's the stress of that. You get home and you've got yard work to do, and you've got projects to do, and they're just craving fun, and they're involved in boating, and that's their fun outlet. So you can take advantage of that. You can tap into that and put it within your overall sales and marketing strategy, what I call the splash system, for the way I get dealers to implement it, and the proven splash system at that. And it's simple, and it really does make things more fun. So next week, we're doing these every other week. But we'll get back more into the financial piece of it. But after that conversation the other day, where the owner was saying that's the part of the book that inspired him, and those are the conversations that he and other dealership owners have about, is it worth it? Should we get out of the business? Can I afford to hire a general manager so I can step away and not just have all the stress of owning a boat business? And it really struck me as something. And as I was getting the notes together for this episode, I kept going back to when I named my book. It was, that tagline of sell more boats, make more money, and have more fun. That have more fun part was it was a natural fit, and something I felt was so important that it's on the front cover of the book, all over my website. And so don't forget about it. Don't forget about that, adding fun to your boat business. And there's a lot of ways that you can do it, as long as it's consistent with the overall culture of the dealership. You don't want to do things that doesn't match. But so there you go. Those are my thoughts on have more fun. This episode may have been a little bit rambly, but I really think it's something that as a dealership owner, that you can certainly relate to. It may be something you've been thinking about. So I wanted to just throw those thoughts out there. And I appreciate you joining us today. When you've decided that you're just not satisfied with the profits in your dealership, you're just not satisfied with the number of units you're putting out compared to your market share, if you're just not satisfied with the amount of fun that you're having in your dealership, and you want to improve all 3 of those areas, here's a few ways that we can help, a few things that you can do next. The first thing is, you can apply to join the upcoming Splash System program. We've got them starting consistently throughout the year. The fall and winter ones fill up the fastest. So you can go to boatdealerprofits.com/splash apply. You can go there and check it out. You can also check out our Boat Dealer Profits scorecard to see how you and your dealership stack up in the 7 key areas of Splash dealer success that we've identified. And you can do that at boatdealerprofits.com/scorecard. You can also check out Boat Dealer Profits TV, our blog and other podcast episodes. You can do that at boatdealerprofits.com. If you scroll a ways down, you'll see the most recent ones, and you can click on whichever ones that are you're interested in checking out there. Or you can also you can check out one of the many webinars that we have available. We've kicked off some additional webinar series in my commitment to helping dealers sell more boats, make more money, and have more fun. You can do that at boatdealerprofits.com/webinar for a list of upcoming webinars that you may want to check out. Also, if you're listening to this podcast and you think that you may make a good guest on the podcast, you can email me at matt@boatdealerprofits.com. Just email me a little bit about yourself, where your area of expertise lies in the sales and marketing space, the sell more boats, make more money, have more fun context, which is the basis of this entire podcast here. And just shoot me an email. We'll see if you're a good fit. And we would love to have you on if you are, because I'm really excited about getting all the unique perspectives from folks, whether it's their programs that they offer, just their insights that they have, and I'm looking forward to that big variety of guests. So every episode, you're in for something a little bit new and a different perspective. So again, thanks for joining us, and we will catch you next time. Take care, everybody.